Good morning, everybody. This is my journey into reloading, and I wanted to make this video because maybe you're like me, maybe you didn't have any experience, maybe you don't have anybody that can show you how to do it, maybe you're not sure what you're buying, and maybe this will help. So the wife and I both shoot 9mm. We just recently got back into the sport. I quickly realized they're not giving away ammunition. This stuff costs a lot of money. So it didn't take me long to realize that I should probably start reloading my own. And so I started looking. I started looking on the internet. I started looking on YouTube. And I started leaning toward, the real expensive ones. I like the finer things in life when I can afford them. I want a Dillon 650 progressive press. It's after the first of the year. I'm the head of household here. I got co-pays and deductibles that I got to meet. I owe in taxes this year. I decided that I should probably compromise. And when I started looking into it, all the videos, all the websites, everything that talks about this Dillon Classic Turret Press is positive. And so I picked it up. And I'm going to break everything down here, pound for pound. And it'll help you understand what it costs me, what it might cost you to put your first 1,000 rounds of ammunition into the can. And so we start right here. First, let me tell you that I did price comparisons here locally in Northern Nevada. I looked at Shields, I looked at Cabela's, I looked at some regional cow ranch, Tractor Supply type places that we have up here. And without exception, everything that I could possibly buy on Amazon was cheaper. Now, I've heard you can get this Classic Turret Press on sale for right around 60 bucks. And if you can find it, that's a slam dunk. This one cost me $109. The Safety Prime cost me $25. The Auto Disc Powder Measure cost me $35. The dies, which come with the shell holder, a powder scoop, and all the specs and load data for 9mm ammunition were $44. And so that brings us to the bullet puller. That was $15. This Frankford Arsenal scale was $15. The digital calipers, accurate to 1,000th of an inch, were $15. These two cartridge, these trays, they were $7 a piece, and I got two. The Lyman reloading guide with plenty of information that I probably didn't need because the information that was relevant to what I'm doing currently came with the dies. Well, this resource was $25. This primer tray was an add-on item, I believe, so I don't even think it was $5. I picked one up anyway, and it's nice for what it is. So that brings us to the case tumbler, which I haven't used. This case tumbler came with media, it came with a sieve and a bucket, and it also came with some brass polish. This kit was 70 bucks. I'm thinking so long as everything works fine, that's a slam dunk. Now I believe that brings us to, okay, well here I got a funnel, that was $1, and I stole this from my daughter's room. That was free. That just cost me a weird look. And then, so what else do we have here? Okay, well, you're gonna need a table. I was gonna build a table. My wife didn't want me building one in the kitchen. So this was a compromise. It's too cold to try to do this outside right now. So we went to the thrift store and I got this table for 10 bucks. I reinforced it a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be here for the long haul, but it's here right now and it's doing the job. Not included was the Bluetooth speaker, but I recommend that. And I got, bullets. 115 grain FMJs delivered to my door for 80 bucks. So they were like 60 bucks plus shipping. The best price I could find in town was at Shields, and it was like 80 bucks plus tax. And then I'd have to drive into Reno. That's a 30-mile drive for me. That's a win for me, delivered to my door. Once used brass, range brass. I got this from somebody selling it on Etsy. I found a lot of them. It was 20 bucks for 1,000. Cost me another 15 in shipping. That's 35 bucks delivered to my door. That outside of maybe a couple hand tools that I keep on the table, that's it. The whole setup Okay, well, I think I forgot the primers. Primers locally, those were $32. And the powder, that was $22. And all these prices are rounded up to the nearest dollar or close based on memory. And I'm a miser, so, you know, I remember what things cost. This whole setup right here with my first 1,000 rounds, well, I've gone through 500 of the primer so far. My first 500, the whole setup, $490. And it's working great. I feel like I could have spent more money, and I'm sure if this thing's this good for under $200, I mean, those Hornady and Dillon progressive presses, they must be sweet. And I really look forward to the day where I can justify that purchase. But for now, this thing's doing the job. The only complaint that I have with the thing is the safety prime. I have another video on that. Right out of the box, this thing is a piece of crap. I was wondering, you know, why I wasted my money, and I was considering getting a hand primer, but that kind of takes a lot of the functionality out of this turret press, so I fiddled with it. I'm mechanically inclined, and even if you're not, you can figure it out. I got another video that kind of goes through what it took to get this thing to dispense reliably, and it's very simple. It's mostly just, you know, it's mostly maybe sleight of hand. It's just kind of all on how you apply pressure to it. Well, let's see. This scale, I said, was $15. I believe it to be accurate. I believe it to be consistent. It does kind of have a couple odd behaviors. That being said, though, when I load this hopper, I'd probably fill maybe 20 cartridges and pour them back in to let the powder settle. I tap on it a little bit. This thing drops consistent. It doesn't vary hardly at all. I went from when I started checking every 10th round. I check every 50 now, and I measure here and there in between, and if I take a break, I'll come back and I'll check it out. But I'm confident this thing's going to give me what I want. Everything here is pretty solid. I hope this video helps. I was thinking when I decided that I was going to go with something that wasn't as expensive as the Dillon or the Hornady, that I might be missing some quality. And I don't feel that's the case. I feel like this gets you into the chair, reloading your own ammunition at a price you can live with. And I'll tell you what, right now, I've gone out and I've put a couple of rounds through. You know, I wanted to test the load to make sure that everything was working okay, that I didn't need to make any adjustments. And right off the bat, this is smoother shooting ammunition. I didn't try to, you know, build, you know, the most powerful bullet on earth. I actually wanted to try to build something with a mild charge that my wife, who's got less shooting experience than me, would be a little less intimidated by the handgun. And this stuff's churning out some really smooth shooting ammunition. I'm glad I got into it. I work second shift, so I'm here I'm here between 1 and 4 in the morning reloading ammunition when everybody else is asleep. I've got time every day. And this is probably the accumulation of maybe four evenings, 500 rounds. So I'm not breaking any records here, but I'm putting ammunition in my magazines. And it's nice. It's kind of a feeling of accomplishment. I'm glad I got into this. Anyway, I hope this video helps. I hope that you get something out of it. Check out my other video on the Lee Safety Prime if you're interested in it, and maybe it'll help out with some of with the performance of that particular tool. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.